everybody, it's Cynthia Porto with Visit Winona. Ed Hoffman is running the camera, and we're back. Actually, we had a start a few minutes ago with Facebook Live, and then we got, thank you, Teresa Johnson, a message that said, you're sideways, and so we had to go. We did some stuff. We restarted the phone. We turned the camera around and all these different things, and we think we're right now. So listen, if we're sideways, please, in the comments right now, tell us, because then we're going to stop again. We want this to be a fun film to watch, and so if it's sideways, we want to fix it right now. So we think we've got our little technical problem sorted out, and you can see the last of a really beautiful sunset happening here at Boats and Bluegrass. This is where you sent us in this week's poll. I'm going to say by a very crushing margin. Last I saw it was something like 85% said go to Boats and Bluegrass, and thank you so much, because what a great festival this is. This is one of Winona's most precious Winona originals. It's a festival that started here. It's been here for 15 years. I would like to tell you that it's been growing, but the reality is that it is capped on purpose so that it doesn't get too big, and so it's been stuck at that cap for a while. What happens is that the tickets sell out earlier and earlier and earlier. The reason they cap it is because they want this to be kind of an intimate festival. So there's 1,500 tickets, as I understand it. Plus there's probably some vendors, media folks like me and Ed come in here, and then I'm going to get run over. Hang on, here we go. And then, volunteers and all of that. But more or less, I think that they sell about 1,500 tickets. So back behind me is the Prairie Island Campground. We're down at Prairie Island Park. It's one of Winona's beautiful city parks right on the banks of the Mississippi River. We're so blessed to have something like that here, right? And next to it is a campground where there are literally thousands of people camping. So 1,500 tickets. I think that kids under a certain age are free. There's a whole bunch of kids here. You can see the playground. It's getting a little bit dark. You probably can't see the playground going behind me, but this is a very family-friendly, easy for me to say. This is a very family-friendly festival, and it's done that way on purpose. People bring their kids. You see them. They're just wandering all over the place by themselves. It's such a tightly knit community of bluegrass lovers, music lovers, Mississippi River lovers. Kids bring their bikes. It's so sweet. I mean, this is really a lovely festival. If you want to get tickets to it, though, and especially if you want to get the camping tickets, which are included, they start selling tickets for it, I think by the end of this year they'll have tickets for sale, and those pre-sale tickets are really inexpensive. They haven't introduced the lineup or anything, and then they increase the price of it right up to the festival. I think you can get a few day tickets to come in here, but otherwise every year it's sold out, completely sold out. So if you want to come, you got to plan a little bit ahead of time. If you want to save some money, you got to plan a lot ahead of time. We're going to go inside and take a look around. I don't know who's on the stage right now, because there are literally dozens and dozens of performers here. There's two stages. One is inside a tent. One is kind of on a main stage with big, beautiful lighting. And everyone brings in their own chairs and they set them up. People dance. There's fire twirlers and things sometimes in the breaks. And it goes on all day and all into the evening. There's food trucks in there. There's this is a beer. This is from Bent Paddle, this handy, beautiful little aluminum cup. And it's marked for Boats and Bluegrass 2019. And there's people selling all sorts of artisan wares. So our first stop, we're going to take a cruise through the artist tent. They have merchandise for sale from all of the different artisans. Plus they have some beautiful art for sale from local artists. Jamie Harper, one of my favorite local artists. It's a fun story, actually. When I was at the newspaper, I wrote a story about Jamie, because he was a special ed teacher or with a youth. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't special ed, but he was teaching at a Montessori school. Maybe that's what it was. And so he needed to teach the kids an art class, and he self-admittedly was not really an artist. so he did a few projects himself just to decide like how was this going to work, what was he going to do, and so what he did was amazing. I think he's quit his day gig now. I think he's just an artist. He does like kind of this splash art. We'll show you in a minute, where he takes like old doors and cabinet doors and pieces of wood that are just thrown away and turns them into the most amazing, beautiful pieces of art. Anyway, I'm going to have Ed just give you a look around. I'm going to stay really close. I know this looks like Blair Witch Project close, but I'm going to stay really close so that you can hear me because it's very loud in here. And so I'm going to have Ed, I'm going to stop talking right now, just have Ed give you a look around the merchandise tent. Which is not really the tent, it is the Prairie Island Pavilion, which you can rent and use for your own purposes, family reunions and whatever. And then we'll show you the art, and then we're going to go take a look around the festival grounds a little bit.
We've had like a bunch of people ask. Has he had an album release too? Yeah. So we've had like literally probably 30 people like, is he having stuff out? Like, no, we haven't. I mean, I've seen him walking around.
Okay, so here, it's so cool. I'm old enough, of course, to remember record albums. Well, you can buy them here. You can also buy CDs and koozies and magnets. Great t-shirts, like all the different groups have their t-shirts up on the wall. They're pretty sweet. And this is just really kind of the cheer section for the festival. Over here is the art section. Look at this stuff, you guys. So Ed is just I'm not gonna talk, I'm just gonna have Ed give you a look. If you have not seen Jamie Harper's work, this isn't really like, actually I also see a Sanborn canoe paddle. Those are beautiful. I went to their factory and I watched how they made them. It's just a beautiful piece of art. And it's also a really, really functional paddle. But anyway, have a look. If you've not seen Jamie Harper's art, you are gonna fall in love in just a minute. Go ahead. Here's what he does. He just gets a piece of reclaimed wood and he paints kind of just like, sketches out something on it, paints it, in a kind of a suggestion of the thing. It's not really like super finely detailed. And then he just throws a bunch of color at it and it's so cool. I see down here that he did an album cover for Charlie Parr. An album that Charlie Parr did was recorded in Winona, and Jamie Harper did the cover for it. And I heard earlier Charlie Parr is playing here tonight. He is one of the most beloved festival performers, and actually I think one of the most beloved performers in Winona. He's a bluegrass guy. I believe he's from Duluth. And he is so loved. All right, so let's go take a look around. I know you don't want to look at art all night, and so let's go take a look. I haven't been back here yet, but I kind of peeked my head behind, and it looks like there's a whole lot of food. There's a whole lot of kids running around. It's a whole lot quieter, right? I hope you guys could hear me. If you can't hear me, you gotta say you can't hear me, because Ed will tell me. That'll like give me like hand signals and tell me that you can't hear me. So anyway, this is growing and growing. This part is growing. There was not this many food trucks the last time I was here. I see, things that you'd see maybe at the county fair, gyros and kebabs, but also little local, like farm to table kind of fresh organic food trucks. We've got some local vendors who have their food trucks here. We've got Steam from Rochester, a really sweet little coffee shop. We've got Rubio's has a legendary, taco truck, but they serve a whole lot more than tacos. Somebody's doing wood-fired pizza. Oh, I think that this is the wood-fired pizza that you can get down at the Prairie Island campground, I think. And I had one last year, and it was really fantastic. It was really good, and pretty cheap, and like pretty fast. So with some goodies. All right, so we're gonna just kind of pass through this tent. I don't even know if you guys can see me anymore. It's getting kind of dark. Sorry. There's nothing going on in this tent right now. This is I don't know what they call it. But anyway, there will be performers in here when the main stage goes off. This stage is on. It looks like a pretty big group coming on the stage after what's on that stage. So I don't know. We'll have to look at a schedule. I was going to show you a schedule, but now it's like way too dark. So I'm not. So we're all just going to have to guess, right? But I'll tell you something. The Boats and Bluegrass Festival has a fantastic website. Really, really great website. It is just so far in its usability and its information. I'm going to try to not wipe out on this chair right here. And so, that was just a stick. It wasn't even the tent or anything. It was just a stick. So go to their website if you're wondering. I think that they start introducing who their lineup is going to be. I don't know. I think by spring for sure. They're saying who some of the things are that are coming. Oh, we're going to walk through the beverage tent. This commemorative cup, let me just tell you how that works. You buy, like they have a plastic cup that you have to buy. They're trying to go green. Like the vibe at this festival really is like they love bluegrass, they love the river, they love the earth, and so it is kind of a culture of, you see a lot of signs posted around that say things like, be kind, just reminding us of some of these little human elements that make the world so much better. This is a place that is full of like friendliness and peace and love. People I don't even know are saying hi to me. Ed could barely do his job tonight, so many people are coming up to him and hugging him, and this is such a friendly place. I absolutely love it here. And I don't really know that many people here, but people are just so nice to me, So, and also they have beer. Sorry. So they sell these. They have just a plastic cup. You have to buy it, and then you can get whatever from Bent Paddle. Here, we'll turn this way. You can kind of see what's going on behind me. And then if you want, you can pay, I think it's like $5 more and get this beautiful commemorative metal cup. They have white ones and silver ones. And it's sweet, and you can save them. And actually, you could bring it back next year and then just get beers in this and not have to pay the cup fee. It's a great plan. I didn't know that. I have last year's cup sitting in my cupboard at home. Shoot. So, anyway, I'm not going to get another beer right now because we're working, but I just wanted to give you a look at this. This is a hard-working group back there. I did that gig last year. I volunteered in there on Saturday night until 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm telling you, we worked our butts off inside, but it was such a fun place to be, Everybody was really having a great time. So here we're into a whole different section of vendors, and the Rubio's truck and Cafe Steam. I feel it's like a brisket smoker or something like that. And behind me is the main stage. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to stop talking in a second here. We're just going to walk up and give you a minute of watching the stage. One of the things that's so beautiful at this festival is the lights. They have really a professional production company put on all of the sound and lights. And so the photos that we leave here with are magnificently colorful and bright and beautiful and interesting. So if you like a nice stage production, this is the show you want to go to. Even though it's like a bluegrass, boot stomping kind of a thing, it is put on so beautifully that it's really a joy to come and hang out at. When you buy a ticket, by the way, you get camping included in the ticket price for 3 days for free. So you gotta come. You gotta put it on your calendar, okay? So every week you tell us where to go, and we will go wherever you send us. We've been all over the place. You've created such a fun vibe for us with this series. I'm loving it. Ed's loving it. I hope you're loving it, and I want you to go back to our Facebook page and tell us next week, where should we go? We're going to go to whatever place wins, and I'll just see you next week. I'm going to stop talking. We're going to go take a look at the band for just a minute, and I hope you all have a great week. Okay, so how's that for timing? The band was just ending as we walked up, so we're going to say goodbye. You're going to have to come out here and see for yourself next year. See you next week, everybody. Bye. Have a great week.